And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, here's Miller. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. Here's Smith. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And the pitch goes to Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now it's Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions. And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now it's Crowder. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum. Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. That it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. Powering his way forward. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A huge play there for Washington. 48 yards. Smith now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And it's caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation. Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone. Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going. They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Watson going to give this one to Miller, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those. A first down carry now for Miller. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield. And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Come back, come back. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. A very solid gain of 27. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. from the gun. Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes our score 17-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They get it to him running left. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs, because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed.
Super toe. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Texans scoop it. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Now he's forced out left. And his throw is incomplete.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
The Texans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson operating from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
On 1st and 10, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he finds a man with a crossing route. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To throw is Smith. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And now out comes Houston. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And this one is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's a give to Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. 23 yards on the play.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Miller. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They'll roll it. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Redskins scoop it. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Watson now to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He got 29 yards that time. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Reset. Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Watson on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. 23 yards on the play. Watson now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he powers his way up past the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Faking the give. Now Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Running left is Miller. And some space here. Finding room to the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play action. It's Smith. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That'll be incomplete, as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Off of play action, here's Smith. Airing one out for Crowder. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Yellow, yellow.
On second down, here's Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads and able to come back and find him in open space, that's a really nice play.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. Smith now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
To throw on 2nd down. Smith caught on the right side. Reed. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
It's brought in by Dodson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Pernell McPhee in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now Thompson. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Smith. And this one complete to Reed. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
52. 35.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now it's Smith. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Smith. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. They run it here with Thompson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st down, Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Redskins on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Smith keeps it on the sneak. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They begin with a run by Miller. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
Reset.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game. And a defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want
no chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. Ducks him with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Smith on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw is Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Smith. And that is incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
They'll run it again with Miller. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They'll run with Miller. And he's got some space here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now it's Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Open space inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. This is Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him up the middle. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him. On
the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
They'll run with Thompson. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now here's a sneak, maybe looking to run a little time. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Redskins, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Dallas on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
you.